Good day, it is day 23 of the Muscle Building Trainer FST 7 week. Yesterday was chest and triceps. We started the week on National Chest Day. Apparently everyone was doing the same. It's going to take a lot of energy today. We got legs. It's going to be FST 7, a lot of volume, as you know. So make sure that you are hydrated, that you have taken your pre-workout, you haven't had a meal too close to the workout, because we do not want that to revisit. It's going to be a hard one for me. I know it's my first leg day back in 15 days. So I'm going to throw myself into the trenches here and see what happens. Play it by ear and, just go by instinct to a certain degree. Not by instinct fully that I go to the pub and start chasing women, but feeling the instinct within my legs to ensure that the pain that I'm feeling is the right type of pain, not the right type of pain that's going to throw me to injury. So anyway, let's go in there, and there's only one way to find out. Let's go head first. Is that close enough?
Sometimes you need some funny shots also.
What are you saying, my head's funny?
No, face will look a little distorted.
Yeah, that's normal. That's nothing to do with the camera.
Nice to be close to you.
Yeah, I'm a little bit worried about this guy. He's dressed a little bit too nice for the gym today, isn't it? You're very distracting for me, So the cameraman is dressed utterly nice today. I don't know why. I think he's going to get a little bit lucky later. What do you think? He's got a big smile on his face. Oh, he's going red, which is hard for an Indian person, but he's going red here. So we started off with leg extensions there to begin with. We did 4 sets. I did a little bit more volume than what was recommended without putting too much strain on my knee, and I could feel it a little bit. So I didn't want to risk any injury. I wanted to feel the pain in my quads, not in my femoral patella. That first set felt okay. I had to go a little bit lighter and do a little bit more volume than what Hani had recommended. He recommended around 15 repetitions, I think, for leg extensions, and I just did 25. As I was about halfway through, I could feel the pain slightly in my knee. I could go through it, but I'm going to be playing with danger there, and we've got a lot more exercises to go. So I'm going to continue keeping these rest periods quite short and just pound out the volume and go to failure a little bit quicker. So remember, between every set, we're either stretching or we're contracting, because I just want to make sure that the muscle is very subtle around my knee joint at the moment. But I'm also contracting just to shuttle as much blood into the area as well. We did 4 sets there, resting for about 1.5 minutes in between each set before moving on to another base exercise, compound movement this time, the leg press. So I did this at about shoulder width distance apart. I came right down, got a good stretch out of it, really pushed out the hole, got a good contraction at the top, and I knocked out at 20 repetitions on this one, but your recommended rep range is around 12. I'm just going up 1 plate at a time each side, warming it up now just to ensure that my knees feel okay engaging the weight that I'm putting on there. So I'm doing a few more warm-ups than I normally would. I've only done 2 sets there and I feel like throwing up already. Just really pushing myself beyond failure here. Doing a few rest pause sets just to get out 20 reps. The pump that I'm feeling in my legs is absurd. So a little bit more volume than what Hani described. Just knocked out like 20 repetitions here. When reaching failure, but it's feeling so good that I'm able to actually perform this. Because 2 weeks ago, I could hardly sit down and stand up. Right, I'm gonna go again. once we did 4 sets there, we moved on to the hack squats and did 4 sets there. I did about 15 repetitions, and your rep range should be around 12 on there. So far, so good on hack squats. Again, I'm using a little bit more volume than what Hani prescribed, just to reach failure on my quads without reaching failure on my knees. But you stick to your 15 reps, and I'm going to stick to my 20s today, okay? We're both going to reach the same destination, and that's failure in order to succeed in leg growth. I was hoping that I only had 3 sets there, but I got 4. So 4 of leg extension, 4 with the leg press, 4 with the hack squat, and then we've got 7 sets of squats. Let's fucking go. Again, I just wanted to ensure that there wasn't too much pain on my knees, so for that purpose, I put my heels up the plate a little bit further than I would normally to target quads, just to ensure that my knees were staying aligned and I was able to break down the fibers, and I was, you know, I was knackered, and that was because of the pain in my quads and because I was trying to suck in oxygen to back it up. Oh man, trying to catch my breath, and now we're going to have a go to see if we can do some squats on the Smith machine. I'm going to do the Smith machine for a little bit more support, as Hani recommended. You can do the same, get great results from Smith machine, regardless of what idiots will say. People who say that you can't build legs on Smith machines anyway are idiots. You know, people tell me that I can't do that on leg press, and I build legs on leg press, so whatever. So I did Smith machine there for 7 sets, and again, that's what Hani recommended, to give it a shot, and my knees were fine. So, you know, we went up to about 15 repetitions per set, resting for about 60 to 90 seconds between each set. I think Hani said about 1.5 minutes rest between these 7s, which is just as well. When you're hitting your legs like this, you're utilizing a lot of oxygen, big body group, working your core stabilizers as well. So you're going to require a lot of oxygen. That's why it's really important that you have your cardiovascular fitness up, so we can do these FST 7s with only 1.5 minutes rest. I was just pounding at it, and squeezing the legs in between each set to ensure that we're pushing those quads with as much blood as possible. Really stretch that fascia, engorge the area with blood. And I just had an immense pump. So we just did 7 sets of the Smith machine there, only resting 1.5 minutes between each set. I did a little bit more volume, but again, just to make sure that I reach failure. Touch wood. I'm so happy how this leg workout has gone so far. You know, I feel sick obviously, but you know, I had no idea even if I was able to train legs today, because I haven't even tested it. Other than running, I haven't tried squatting or anything. I've been doing everything I can to rest it, and it's paid off. So I'm really happy about that. Now I'm taking about 5 minutes rest. I'm lying down here, got my legs elevated to try and get some blood back in my head, because I'm getting very lightheaded here. I feel like I'm going to pass out. So now with this rest, I'm recuperating so I can mentally realign my focus and go into hamstrings now with the same intensity as if I've just walked into the gym, as I just broke down quads. So that's what I'm going to do now, and you need to do the same. So then with hamstrings, started off with a lying hamstring curl. I had a trainer in there assist me by passing me weights, assisting me with a couple of the reps to get some forced repetitions out. And again, squeezing the hamstrings between the sets. I did 4 sets here, knocking out about 15 repetitions. At this time, I was just focusing on the belly of the muscle, you know, really focusing on squeezing that peak contraction, picturing the steel cables of the hamstrings contracting and stretching, and picturing the fullness of the muscle kind of shaking as you walk. So I'm a very visual kind of person. I try to get so deep within the muscle that I'm one of the blood platelets. I can feel it engorged. I'm in there engorged with it, and I'm imagining the adrenaline that goes with it, that rush that you feel with it. I'm experiencing it. By only doing 3 sets here now, I know tomorrow my hamstrings are going to be really, really sore. But we've got to keep going. We've got 1 more set of the lying hamstring curls here. Obviously, I'm using a dumbbell. There's no lying leg machine here. However, I find that I get more of a contraction out of this. Oh, okay. When you've reached absolute failure, you cannot do 1 more, even with assistance. You can still work the negative, can't you, very slow. So that's exactly what he did. He reminded me, go slow on the negative, so you can get that, just that last bit out of it to accentuate the growth of the hamstrings. So once I completed that, I went straight onto the stiff leg deadlifts, keeping the legs locked, pushing the heels back. So I'm not focusing on bending the back forward, I'm focusing on pushing the hips back, keeping all the weight through my heels, keeping my legs locked. Some people like to have them slightly bent. I can't feel my hamstrings if I do that, so I always have them locked. Getting a good stretch. As soon as I felt that the stretch was starting to come through my glutes into my back, I stop, I come back up. At a slow speed, if I go too fast, I know my back's going to come into play. So I did 4 sets there and knocked out about 12 repetitions on that one. My last set for our base exercise for hamstrings before we finish with the FST 7s on the seated hams, right? And then we went on to our 7s, our FST 7s then, which was the seated hamstring curl. Only rested about a minute between these sets, just enough time to get up, squeeze. A couple of times I was just that knackered, I just stayed in the seat, man. I couldn't do anything, but I felt like fainting sitting down. I felt like sleeping sitting down. I was just that starved of oxygen, so I just did whatever I could just to make sure that I was hitting every set to absolute failure and not being a pussy about it. Not often does the thoughts of comfort and bed come into my head when I'm working out. But this is one of those occasions, man. This is gnarly, this is insane. But it's good, I enjoy it. Sometimes I just wonder, I'm thinking, what the hell have you signed up for here, you know? Because as you get older, aren't you supposed to take it easier? I seem to be just smashing at it even harder and harder and just hoping to pray that we stay in one piece, that the body will keep up with the brain, you know? Remember, in between your sets now of the seated hamstring curls, you're supposed to be squeezing your hamstrings as hard as you can. If you find it hard to contract them, bend your legs slightly and touch the belly of the muscle where you're supposed to be contracting it. Squeeze it there as hard as you can for about 15 seconds. And then release. Between your other set, you can stretch if you want, but I prefer to just squeeze as Hani recommends on the 7s, just to shuttle the blood into the area. I never, I can't get enough oxygen in. I never thought I'd feel like passing out sitting down, but I do. I just feel I feel like sleeping now. I'm knackered. I'm running on vapors now. Right, okay, focus. Jet into it now. Last set, best set. Got to get our post-workout shakedown now. Knock that back and head upstairs, do cardio. Try to get rid of some of this lactic acid in the legs. Get the blood back to the head. Get glycogen, protein replenished in the body. And then we'll help flush that around to the localized area to assist with faster recovery. Even as soon as I'm done with the cardio, I'm going to eat as well. I got some major recovery to do before tomorrow's shoulder session, and you guys do too. You're going to have to really make sure that you get your proper supplementation and food in immediately after your cardio, I'd say, because otherwise we'll be dragging ass tomorrow. We can't have that. That's for the weak, and the weak are there to feed the strong. Ooh. Gonna look sexy, doesn't it? These socks and these shoes. I look as sexy as a cameraman going out on a date. Not gonna get much luck there, I don't think. Oh, bollocks. I feel much more comfortable with the cameraman filming my face instead of my crutch. Thank you for that. That's a wrap of day 23 here, the FST 7 legs. That was the toughest workout so far. Maybe it's because it was so much volume, maybe it's because of coming back from injury, fitness down, but I really think it was just, it was Hani, he's sick, and with all that volume, it was really tough, man. You know, we were running on vapors, well I was anyway. But that's how it's supposed to be. You're not supposed to bring anything out of the gym. You go to get rid of everything in there, and that's exactly what we did. Like, we left it all on the gym floor there. I'm surprised that I could turn around at a bench and didn't see a pool of blood there, because that's what it felt like after every set. And now I've come down here to talk to you guys, and all I want to do now is go and eat immediately, and that's exactly what you should do now. Straight, as soon as you've done your cardio, get the food in you, because your legs, you've just trained half your body here, they're going to be starved, and if you do not feed them properly, you're going to be absolutely shattered for tomorrow's workout. And we got to come back here again tomorrow with the same ferocity as we did last week, as we do next week, as we finish this workout. That's it. I haven't got anything else more to say, guys, because I'm knackered, and I just want to eat now. So I'll see you guys tomorrow.